what's called Braveheart N5. Yeah, the Dundee streets, the North Bank lights, Braveheart the M5 brings the fight. Red and white running deep in his veins, every match day carries the flames. Passion and mighty Miller back down, cheering for Arsenal all over town. From Highbury goes to Emirates Wall, he lives every goal, every tap, every score. Dundee grit, Scottish pride, standing tall with the gunners by his side, chants on his lips, scarf in the air, hearts so fearless, no one can compare. Legendries watches, history knows, Bergkamp, Henry, rate his love all he goes. The Braveheart of the M5, the fans delight. In the stands he's a storm, a beacon of light. Red and white forever, no one can deny. The spirit of the M5 will never die.
Welcome to another edition of Hot Topics in the North Bank. Richard, I've got to give you a big up. I know you're still working on that intro, but bro, that it was absolutely phenomenal. So thank you so much. Following on from the first section that I did was about KSE and the job that they done when they came in, and they were fighting for control of the football club, moving on to getting control of the football club, appointing a novice manager and novice sporting director as well, and then each season you've seen them step up and step up and step up. And unfortunately, I've had to eat a bit of humble pie because this season they 100% delivered. And go back and watch the first one. I'm sure it was extremely nice to KSE and Stan in particular. But the back of that episode, I want to speak about Arteta, the manager, and what he's done for Arsenal Football Club. Oh, and also where we're going for the future. Now, some people think Arteta is under pressure. Other people think that he's not under pressure. He'll never be sacked. And so I just want to discuss it a while. I really want to delve into just Arteta. And so I'll start. 2019, Arteta comes into Arsenal Football Club halfway through the season, inherits the squad during COVID, and he goes on and wins an FA Cup. With Emery's side, you could say back end Arsene Wenger's side, he went on and got the one and only trophy that we've won in this period. Or unless you're counting Community Shields, I certainly don't. But yeah, that's kind of where it is. However, since then, we saw a transformation in Arsenal, transformation of non-negotiables, Arteta's non-negotiables. And he set his plan out and people had to stick to them. And unfortunately, we had too many bad apples. Too many people thought that they were absolute superstars at our football club. And we saw by their lifestyles, the way that they acted, a bit like Man United at this moment in time, if I'm being honest with you, prima donnas in my eyes. And Arteta had to change all that. And he had to change all that in an environment of arguably the best managers in Europe being in the Premier League at that given time. And Pep Guardiola and also Jurgen Klopp. There's no denying it. There's no denying the greatness of the two managers. Unless some people might say that Jurgen, 100%, what an amazing manager, and Pep Guardiola, there is a debate out there that's not going to get brought up by me on this channel, that he's a checkbook manager. But let's just delve into the facts of Arteta's reign. Arteta came into Arsenal in a period of uncertainty. The Kroenkes had just taken over the football club. We had watched transfer windows during the power struggle of a Peter Cech coming in, and that's the only signing that you make that summer. £10 million Chelsea reject coming into Arsenal Football Club. That's what we had to endure. And these are facts. However, we also saw a period of keeping the players at the football club without the right environment and giving them excess wages, and it made them even more prima donnas. And I don't care. I mean, come at me at the chat if you disagree and you think that Ozil was bang on and you think Aubameyang was bang on, for instance. I absolutely disagree. For me, I would have kept Sanchez. I got rid of Ozil. There was a lot more than them. Let's not kid ourselves. However, Arteta has to come in and restructure the whole entire football club in a period where Pep Guardiola, checkbook manager, normal manager, best manager in the world, you decide, inherits a Man City side that had won the double in 2014. And since that point, spent 1.6 billion. Yep, you've heard it right, people. Remember inflation, 1.6 billion pounds on top of that. And Arsenal had to try and compete with that. Arteta had to try and compete with that. So he got eighth and he got an FA Cup. Then he gets eighth and he doesn't win a trophy. However, you could see the transformation in Arsenal Football Club happening. You can see the personnels are changing, things are changing. Following season, we'll go up and get fifth. And I don't want to speak about it because it was a very painful fifth for me. We got club bottle jobs. We had players at the football club that put a smile on their face because they were happy to be on the bench. And such a lovely human being he was. But I'm just going to mention Rob Holding. That is it. Then, the following season, we make all the changes. We start bringing players in of the caliber of Zinchenko, Jesus, Tomiyasu was signed that season as well. There was some brilliant additions added into that team. I think Odegaard came the previous season, but Arsenal started to do something different. You could feel it. In the first, I think it was 10 games, I think we lost 1 and won 9. We got off to an absolute flyer. And by the end of that season, I think that's when Arsenal fans started changing. I'm not talking about Kroenke's out that had been going on for a period of time, but we started changing our thoughts to we need squad depth. But at the same time, we still had a section of our fan base wanting Arteta sacked. And I always stayed rigid on this point. If you didn't have the squad depth, how can we sack him? If you've not got the tools to physically do a job, how can you sack someone for that? I mean, it's almost ridiculous, controversial. I mean, that it really doesn't make sense in my head anyway. But the following season, we start the season a bit shaky. There's some draws in there, there's some losses, etc. It's a kind of slow start by Arteta. And then we go in madness. We go to Dubai, come back from Dubai, and it's an absolute madness. I think it was 17 games Arsenal played. We won 15, drew 1, and lost 1 game. In the same season, we got to the quarterfinals of the Champions League against Bayern Munich. For me, I felt that we could have beat Bayern Munich, maybe just slightly naive during that period. But the progress was it was massive. You could see the massive jump in Arsenal Football Club. And the football that was getting played, it excited me. It really excited me. I can't wait to watch any Arsenal game, but this kind of brand of football was just, for me, it was unbelievable. And Yeah, it was second nature, and we should have won the league that year. And it pains me, but it is what it is. And I'm going into then last season. And last season, I'm filled with optimism. I'm thinking we could do Liverpool. We could well and truly do Man City. We've seen the flaws that Man City had. Charges finally caught up with them. It's weird that we've never heard the outcome of that, by the way. But I'm starting to think, yeah, Arteta, I'm believing. And you're taking me to the next level. And these will get called excuses. But start of the season, Declan Rice touches the ball 6 inches and he gets a second yellow card and he's sent off. We've seen William Saliba at the halfway line make a shoulder challenge and it's deemed a foul. And Ben White could possibly get back. The ball's not going direct to goal, it's going diagonally, and but same way he's last man sent off. But see, Leandro Trossard at Newcastle, in his space of like seconds, he's trying to pass the ball out to Martinelli, and the whistle blows, and the matter of seconds, second yellow, you're off the park. There was more of these as well, and then after like a number of games, these all stop. But is this excuses for Arteta? Am I making excuses for him? Then we go on to how deep we get into all competitions last year. Let's say deep. Became second in the Premier League. Let's face it, we lost the league probably by early April. It was gone, completely gone. But if you look at the injuries Arsenal had, I think the last count that I saw was 27. I think Gabriel went down after that, and there was others, so it could even be approaching 30 injuries, which was the highest in the Premier League. And again, you're still looking at squad depth. It was a massive squad depth issue. And we're going into Real Madrid and we're thinking, oh no, like we're out here. There's absolutely no chance whatsoever. And we demolished them. Even though they've got Saka out, even though they've got Havertz out, even though they've got Saliba out. Saliba spent a period out. We had Gabriel going out. You're thinking, man, if Arteta just had the squad to be able to cope with this, surely the promised land is there. Surely it's there. So, is it excuses about the referees and VAR? Is it excuses about the squad depth? Is it excuses about the injuries? That's for you to decide, not me. It's for you to decide. I'm just trying to bring a bit of context to your thinking and hope that you could analyse it in a way that you think if it's fair or not. Then we go into this season. And this is the backup, as I said, to the previous show, which was about KSE. Going to this season, we signed 8 players. Undeniably, even though that Kivier's been sold, and I thought Kivier was absolutely phenomenal, by the way, and I'm gutted that he's gone. What a defence that we've got. I think we've got a brilliant backup goalkeeper. I think we've got a brilliant goalkeeper. I think we've got 8 players that could play in that back line, and I don't think there is a massive drop-off. Going to midfield. Norgard, Zubimendi. Norgard's a decent player. Take that any day of the week. Declan Rice, Mourinho. Take that any day of the week. Then we've got possibly 3 left wingers. Trossard, Martinelli, Eze. Eze is like unreal. Not the player I wanted, but anyway, absolutely unbelievable. You go into Odegaard or the 10. Ethan's there. You've got Eze could also play in that position, and Odegaard as well, obviously. Go in the right wing, Madueke, Saka. Nobody wanted Madueke. However, look at him already this season. Absolutely. Looks like a steal signing. Up top, we've got our bagsman. We've absolutely got our bagsman in Jokeris. We just need to find them, and it's still early in the season. Havertz is obviously out injured. Jesus is obviously out injured. We've got backups there as well. Trossard could play in there, Martinelli could play in there, and you've also got Mourinho. And you could say, but they could only play one position at a time. There's players that could play their position while they play that position, so you can't come back at that. So the question is, has Arteta got the tools to win the league? And then you look at the facts. Now you look at the facts. And I'm not going to give a decision. I want you guys to decide it. The facts are, the team that romped the league last season and just absolutely walked it have just spent probably nearly £500 million in the transfer window. Bringing in the likes of Isaac. Yeah, their spending was absolutely crazy. They did sell players and they did bring money in. There's no doubt that whatsoever. Nobody's denying these facts. However, they are massively strengthened right at the wrong time for Arsenal. They've not done it for seasons upon seasons, and they have strengthened massively. Now, there's other YouTubers out there that have been hitting hard at Arteta. You should be going for the FA Cup, you should be going for the Carabao Cup, you should be winning these competitions, put in the winning mentality. And I hear it. But how are you meant to do it when you never had a squad that you could trust and rely on to go on all four fronts? How can you do that? So I've never blamed Arteta for not getting to the FA Cup or Carabao Cup. And before anyone says anything, the Champions League, get to a quarter-final, semi-finals, you get 90 million. You win the FA Cup, you get 3 million. You want the players to come to your football club. Where do you want to be? It's the semi-final of Champions League. Let's be real. So I've never, ever been hard on Arteta for that. However, these same content creators are still saying he has to deliver one of the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, as well as having a good performance in the league, Champions League. And I'm probably at a point where I'm changing and flipping over the top of them. I'm at a stage now where, no thank you, I want the Premier League. No thank you, I want to win the Champions League. I've suffered enough. We've all suffered enough. So why do I feel so entitled that we should be doing that when there is other great clubs out there? I'll tell you why, because I've seen shit Liverpool sides go out there and win the Champions League. I've saw crap Real Madrid sides go out there and win the Champions League. I've saw teams, not dismising them, I'm doing a couple of the big ones, but I've saw other teams go out there and win the Champions League, be less a squad than Arsenal do now. I think it is time for Arteta to deliver, and that is my take. I think it is time. He has to deliver this season. And I'm not taking excuses of what Liverpool's done or anybody's done, or we'll always be sitting here making excuses. There has to become a time where we look at the bigger picture and we think, do we want to win? I know Arteta wants to win, and I want him to win for my football club more than any other manager. I don't want another manager to come to my football club. I want him to win. But the question for me is, I need him to win now. I need him. I don't want him to win in 3 years' time from now. I want him to win this season. Guys, it's not a rant about Arteta. I'll try to keep it as balanced as I possibly can. Share your views. I'll answer every single one of them. If you got a better take, if you think that I'm speaking nonsense, let me know. It'd be great to have your take on this. And I do think it is a hot topic. And you are watching in the North Bank. This is Braveheart of N5. I'm out of here. Until the next one. Thank you, guys.
It's what's called Braveheart N5. The Dundee streets, the North Bank lights, brave of the M5 brings the fight. Red and white, running deep in his veins. Every match day carries the flames. Passion and mighty, Miller back down, cheering for Arsenal all over town. From Highbury goes to Emirates Wall. He lives every goal, every tap, every score. Dundee grit, Scottish pride, standing tall with the gunners by his side, chants on his lips, scarf in the air, heart so fearless no one can prepare. Legends watches, history knows, Bergkamp, Henry, rate his love all he grows. The brave heart of the M5, the fans delight, in the stands he's a storm, a beacon of light, red and white forever, no one can deny.